Okay, so I'm going to give you just a overview of how I started my staging business from the ground up. I know this is a question I get a lot, and I think it's because staging in general is such a new job, a new field, and it's really taken off, especially if you watch HGTV, you see all the staging and stuff. But so basically, this is how the story goes. I have my master's in psychology and counseling, and I graduated after I was pregnant with Ford, my second son. And I got to a fork in the road where it was either I go the counseling field, which is a lot of hours, it's a lot of time, and I wouldn't really have flexibility with my kids. And I was searching for something where I would have flexibility. You know, I wanted to be home, especially Ford was a baby. And my mom's a realtor, and she pushed me. She's like, you need to get your real estate license. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. I love studying for tests. So I took the course, I studied for the test, and I failed it by 1 point. And I passed the state exam to diagnose and treat mental health disorders, but I could not pass my real estate license test. It's just a hard test, and it's something that I just didn't click with the material. And I'm the type of person, if I don't click with something, I'm not into it. So I failed it though by 1 point, and I was really bummed. And I didn't really know what I was going to do. And Ford was probably only about like 3 to 4 months, and I definitely didn't want to get a full-time job, but I was really looking for something to do. So fast forward to like January, Ford was 6 months old, and my mom got a listing that really needed to be staged with furniture. And my mom offered free staging throughout her whole time as a realtor, where she would just help the homeowner get their house ready for market. Nothing really to do with inventory. But this house that she got really needed to be staged with furniture. So my family, between me, my family, my mom and dad, and my sister's family, we had a lot of like excess pieces, furniture pieces that were nice, but just didn't work in any of our houses after moving. So we used some of those pieces that we had and did a light stage on this listing for my mom. And like I always do, I documented it on Instagram, and I took videos and I just threw it up on my stories, and I was really having fun. And a couple local realtors who followed me immediately messaged me, and they're like, are you staging? There's really not too many people or businesses that are staging in Lakeland. If you're doing it, please, I have listings. Can you come see it? And I am definitely someone who says yes. Like, I don't really do the pros and cons of something. If I see an opportunity, even if I'm ignorant to it, I say yes, because why not? I'm definitely a yes person. So I said, yeah, why not? So I got my first listing, and I started buying and purchasing inventory specifically for that listing. And all the inventory I bought is very neutral and transitional that could work in many homes. So after that listing that I got and I staged, I realized that this could potentially be a business. And that's when I decided that I was going to get accredited as a staging professional. And I took that course and I learned more about the business, and I decided this is what I really wanted to do. And I will tell you, I've always had a niche for this. My husband used to build houses. We flipped a couple of our previous houses. So I knew I had that knack in me, but I really didn't know too much about the business side of it. And even after taking the course, there was definitely still ignorance on my end of what it really took to build a staging business. So I definitely started building this blindly and just went with it. And I think, honestly, starting a business, you really need that mentality, because if you kind of knew all the things of what goes on owning your own business, the sleepless nights you'll have, the anxiety, I think just overall that fear, it might stop you from starting a business. So definitely don't go in fully blind. Like, obviously know what you're doing, but you got to go in it with an open heart. Otherwise, you know, if I knew what I knew on this side of it, I probably wouldn't have done it because I would have been too scared. But anyway, so after that listing, I started my own LLC, and I made it a point to say yes to every job in order to build that inventory. And after a year, we staged over 50 homes, and I hit a market of staging homes that would turn over within 30 to 45 days. In Lakeland, it's like $200,000 houses, $200,000 to $275,000 houses. They're not luxury homes. They're like entry-level homes that have been renovated and stuff, and they go really fast. So really my inventory would turn over after 30 to 45 days, and I would move it into the next house, or I would buy furniture. But after a year, we staged over 50 homes. It was me. Some days it would be my dad driving the trailer. It was me and whoever moving the furniture. I had Carson helping me, who is our babysitter's brother. He was great. He was in college at the time. It'd be me and him driving the trailer. Some days it would always be my husband helping me. Some days it would be my 70-year-old dad driving the truck and trailer, moving in the furniture. You know, we slaved. And after a year, I got to the point where either the business could continue to grow because we kept getting new business, or I would stop buying inventory and just kind of like maintain the clientele that I've built, which I've built amazing clientele. I've built strong, great relationships with realtors and investors, which is to me the best side of the business. But I personally didn't want to keep growing the business because it's a lot. And I also didn't really want to be a slave to this business. I have other interests and passions like this, the health coaching, connecting with you, growing that kind of community. I met an amazing person, Blaine, who's my now business partner, who she's so passionate about growing the business. So we became business partners, and she is growing and investing in the new side of the business. And she's launching an interior side of Lakeland Staging, which is called Lakeland Interiors, which will do e-design. And if you have a space in your house that you need to be spruced up or renovated, you know, she'll help that. It's really a great partnership. But I also want to make it known that staging, it looks glam and it's so fun, but staging is probably 10% of the business. The other 90% is moving the furniture in, destaging the furniture, and maintaining and organizing the inventory. So I grew into a warehouse a couple months ago, and I'm still trying to organize that and get that on an app system. And that in itself is a full-time job. So there's a lot of moving parts to a staging business that you might not know, and which I really didn't understand until I was getting into it. And I'm not trying to discourage anyone. It's just not, it's still a business. It's hard work. It looks glam, but it isn't at the end of the day. And owning your own business is freaking tough. And you know, that first year when I started, I had so many sleepless nights, a lot of like, Allie, what the hell did you get yourself into? Like, I couldn't get myself out of it because I was so far deep into it. But man, if you're starting a business and you know that feeling, like you leave a 9-to-5 job to basically do 200 hours a week, you know, it never ends when you own your own business because it's your own blood, sweat, and tears. Know that it gets better, and there's like hard months and hard years and all that, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that's how I feel now. You know, just being almost 2 years into it, there's light at the end of the tunnel. But come along with me today. We are destaging. Blaine is taking shots for Lakeland Interiors because she's launching that side on Friday, which you guys go to that Instagram, Lakeland Interiors. So it's a sister company to my business, Lakeland Staging. And yeah, I'm excited. So she's taking her photos. I'm going over there for moral support, and we're destaging, and yeah, come along. So we're styling Blaine's shelves for her shoot today. Blaine, are you so excited?
So excited.
This is probably all going to change tomorrow, and she's all gonna find new stuff. All right, we're done. How do you feel about it?
I feel good about it.
So we just styled these shelves, and I'm obsessed. There's a lot of earth tones that were brought in here. I love it. Love this black pot. Took us probably like a good hour to style these bookshelves because there's no like rule to styling bookshelves. It's definitely like a subjective thing and how it makes you feel, but there's also, you know, balance that needs to happen. So it took a while, but I think the final product is really good. And now they're about to set up their shots, and I am leaving to go D-stage, so I will bring you guys along. All right, so we are D-staging this house, and this is basically what a stage house looks like. We start with all the artwork and we take it off the walls. I pack all the decor up, and then we move all the heavy stuff. But I will show you one thing that I started doing is stacking cookies for my staging, and that's just kind of like a staple that like when staging was here, but I really like it.
Yes, sir.
So they're already breaking down the wall art. Here comes the man himself. So this is what the trailer looks like. And Justin is a master at packing, so we always get the house in one load. Very rarely do we need to make 2 loads. But one wrong move and then we will. He's working with me. He actually has a full-time job. This is just his weekend gig. But things go a lot smoother when Justin's involved, so. But it's really hard working with your spouse. If you own a business and you work with your husband, kudos to you. Usually it's me and Justin doing the heavy lifting, but Justin's back. It's hurting him, so Philip and Cody are awesome helpers. They're juniors in high school, so they help us when they can, and it's really nice to get a break where it's not me doing the heavy lifting, because there's some heavy stuff. But I try to buy inventory that's light, and then that makes it easier to move because we're constantly moving it and rotating it in and out of houses. But so we're almost done with this D-stage. So this took us probably about like 20 minutes to D-stage and break everything down. Usually, on average, it takes about like 30 to 45 minutes. This was a quick one. So we will go back to the warehouse, unload, and then we'll be done for the day. And then tomorrow we have another D-stage, and Tuesday we have another D-stage, and then on Wednesday we'll be staging. All right, that's it.